And Annette, are we all set to start?
Yes, I believe so, yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Call the meeting to order.
hmm So
Think it's,
Lori Martin.
and I'm here.
Thank you.
I think I'll turn it over to our partners at Witham Smith and Brown.
Hi, everyone. How are you?
Good.
Glad to be here today. And what we'll go through today is we're going to go through the required communications for the college and then do some financial statement highlights real quick as well. Kind of just pointing to some of the new things for the current year. Can I share my screen?
Yes, it's ready to share, so you may.
The share button on the bottom here?
Yes.
Yeah.
The
Should be
green
in the
button.
middle.
Oh, got it. Okay, got it.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Hopefully everybody can see that.
Yep, we can see it.
Yes.
Great,
Mhm.
perfect. So, as I said, what we'll go through today is our required communications for the year ended June 30th, 2025 for the college. So from an audit opinion, we are prepared to issue an unmodified opinion, which is what we used to call a clean opinion, which is really the highest level of assurance that you can obtain from an accounting firm. So that's great news. So we'll have no issues with the opinion and we'll be issuing an unmodified. Really our audit approach, just real quick, is directed at the evaluation of all significant aspects of the college. We can't audit 100% of every transaction, so we do base a lot of things on materiality. So just to note that it's really the financial statements as a whole, taken as a whole. From an auditor responsibility, we are responsible to express an opinion on the financial statements. And then we did plan and perform the audit to obtain reasonable assurance. Again, it's not absolute assurance because, as I said, we can't really audit everything, but it is reasonable assurance that my financial statements are free from material misstatement. And then our audit does not preclude management's responsibility as well as the committee's responsibility. And then we'll also responsible to communicate any significant matters to you from an audit committee standpoint as well. So the presentation of disclosures are included in the financial statements, and they are in accordance with GAAP. And all significant accounting policies are disclosed within the financial statements, and we noted no issues from a disclosure standpoint. There was no missing disclosures, and all the disclosures are adequate. There are some estimates within the numbers in the financial statements. These estimates include the allowance for doubtful accounts, depreciation, the net pension and OPEB liabilities, as well as the incremental borrowing rate for some of the arrangements. So again, we do take a very close look at the estimates just because they are that, and they really require management's oversight on those estimates. And we noted no issues within the estimates in your financial statements. So there were no significant audit adjustments that were recorded, and then there were also no significant audit adjustments that were proposed. Again, great news for the college. We didn't have to change the financial statements for any reason to make anyone book any entries. So again, that's great news. Kind of all the financial statements you see internally are really similar to the ones from an external standpoint as well. No consultations with other accountants, no major issues discussed prior to our retention. I just want to thank management for all their hard work getting us through close to the finish line. So management did a great job, provided us all the reconciliations that we needed, and was able to answer our questions on a reasonable time frame. So we really appreciate that. And then we did not have any material weaknesses. If we were to have a material weakness within the college, we would disclose that to the committee as well. No disagreements, no unusual transactions, and then no suspected fraud that we were made aware of. We are independent. We are required to be independent of the college. So just real quick that we are independent, and we do perform some non-audit services, really just relating to the financial statements, proposing adjustments or correcting journal entries if needed, help with the preparation of the financial statements and the disclosures, as well as the Form 990 for the foundation, and then also the data collection form as we do the single audit. So just real quick, we will be completing the single audit, so hopefully sometime soon. We have started our testing of the student financial aid. The single audit is the audit of the federal funding that's received by the college. So we will be testing the financial aid. We have done a lot of that testing now. The compliance supplement that is needed from an audit standpoint has not been issued yet by the federal government. Every week it kept saying next week, and now we're not really sure when it's going to be issued, especially with the shutdown. So we can't issue the single audit until the new compliance supplement is out. But again, I don't see it being a material anything material to the college from the new compliance supplement, but just an FYI, we will be performing that audit and hopefully issuing soon in the near future. And then management will also sign a representation letter as we conclude our audit for us to have. Any questions on any of those required communications?
No, no questions.
We do have two significant risks within the college. These are really significant risks within every organization that we audit, for-profit or nonprofit. So improper revenue recognition is considered a fraud risk and a significant risk. So we do a lot of detailed testing over the student tuition revenue, contribution revenue. So we really and grant revenue, we take a very close look at all those revenue streams and do a lot of detailed testing on those. And then we also consider management override of internal controls a significant risk. So we do review journal entries and any significant transactions. And we also perform internal control testing over the key expenditures such as grants made and all the expenditures within your financial statements. And we found no issues with any of the audit work that we performed. As I noted before, I'm happy to report there are no material weaknesses or significant deficiencies not noted in the audit. So I'm very happy with that. If there were any, we would report them to the committee as well. Any questions before I kind of walk through the highlights of the financial statements?
So no management letter comments either?
No, nothing for this current year.
Excellent. Thank you.
Sure. Real quick. One second. Andy, can you pull up the financials? I'm having trouble pulling them up right now.
Sure, let me.
Went up for me when I opened the share.
1 second.
Yep.
Okay. All right, I'm
Pulling
just
that
trying to
up.
share.
Yep. Just the first we'll go through the opinion. Again, no changes from the prior year in the opinion, and it is a clean opinion. Again, it's great news for the college from that standpoint. Is it working for you, Andy?
Yeah, can everyone, oh, I guess I should hit the share button. That would help. Apologies, I thought I was already looking at the screen as if I was sharing it.
There it is.
So as I noted, thanks, Andy. The opinion is a clean opinion, no changes from the prior year. Next, kind of, I'll say maybe 15 pages is really a lot of the MD&A. So that's all of management discussion and analysis that is provided within the financial statements. And as we kind of go down from a balance sheet standpoint of the college, So there is an increase in the accounts receivable, as you can tell, and that really goes hand in hand with the increase in the gross tuition revenue. So we did have an increase in that, but again, we did a lot of detail testing over the accounts receivable as well as the tuition revenue there. Investments, big increase in the investments really pertain to where the market was at June 30th. So the market had a good year, so the investment value was significantly higher in the current year. From a liability standpoint, really, most everything is consistent with the prior year, not many changes. I do just want to note the deferred inflows and outflows from the OPEB standpoint. You know, the OPEB number, which is the pension really liability, it kind of swings from year to year. So it really the college can't really do anything about it. It really just all pertains to an actuarial report. So it's a non-cash transaction, but it can really kind of swing what I'll call your bottom line year to year. So just something to note, to take a look at.
Yeah, and the biggest impact would have been on the deferred outflows related to the OPEB. That's where your biggest swing in those inflows and outflows would have been for the current year.
So from a revenue standpoint, tuition and fees went up, really increase in enrollment for the current year, and really an increase in costs as well. So that's relating to that. But then also scholarships and fellowships increased. So if you look at net tuition, it actually went down, and that's really because we had the Mass Connect funding, the mass education funding, and then the increase in the Pell Grants as well. So the scholarships and the kind of the discount on those that went increased as well. So your net tuition and fees number overall was a decrease from the prior year. From an expenses standpoint, institutional support and instruction increased. Again, that also goes hand in hand with the increase in the tuition and fees. And there was also, because there was an increase in the compensation and fringe benefits relating to the collective bargaining agreement. And an increase in the just the headcount from an employee standpoint. Any questions on the what I'll call the main financial statements?
All the fluctuations make sense.
So I'm not going to go through the financial statements in detail, but I do want to note, and you can go to page 29. We did have a couple new accounting standards that we did have to adopt in the current year. The first one relates to compensated balances. Okay,
Skip it.
Yep.
Yeah.
there you go. So those compensated absences. So this really relates to the sick bank that needed to be accrued. When we looked at the accrual that the college would potentially have to record, it was very immaterial. So that we considered the college did adopt a new standard, but it did not have a material impact to the financial statements. And then GASB 102 just relates to additional disclosures, which we'll go through next. And so it's really just to update the required disclosures for risks that could negatively impact the college. Next one should be on page 49 is the GASB 102 footnote.
Here we go.
Just had to add some more language to the footnote, really pertaining to put some union agreements in here. It really pertains to kind of because of the concentration within these areas. And if you were to lose some of these, unions or whatnot, it could have a material impact on the financial statements. So that's kind of really all this new footnote is saying. And so we did have to add additional disclosures within here as well. And then we did audit the foundation financials as well, just real quick. So we did report all of those that require communications to the foundation board. And the foundation, as you know, is a component unit of the college. So the numbers are disclosed from a component unit standpoint. As I know, we're still in the process of doing the single audit, so we'll get that completed as soon as the new compliance supplement comes out. And then this audit work is actually still going this through quality. Don't see anything coming out of that, but it's just an FYI on that standpoint, and then we'll be ready to issue right after that. Any questions?
No, thank you.
That's
just
all
wanna-
we have from that standpoint, so.
Yeah, I just want to echo your comments and, once again, congratulate the management team on the hard work, the clean audit. I think it's excellent results. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much for everyone's help.
Okay. So the audit committee has a motion 2026-06 for the audit committee to recommend to the Board of Trustees Committee on Ways and Means the approval of these financial statements. I approve.
Thank you, Lori.
Thank
Never
you.
know if I'm saying this correctly.
Yes, yes.
Okay, great. Awesome results. Thank you so much.
Great, thank you. And then I'm going to jump back on, I guess, at 5 for the
Yeah.
board meeting, just to give a quick update. Okay,
Yep.
great. Thank you all
Thank
very
you.
much. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So no other business for this committee? I think we'll just rejoin at 5, right?
Mhm,
That's right. You just do the adjournment, Lori, and then we're good.
A motion to adjourn?
Lori
Thank you.
Martin. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank
We'll see you
you.
soon, everybody. Thank